Hello everyone, this is Kelly with Crafting Creation Studio, and I got a new mold that I want to pour today. I have chosen this Mateo. It's kind of a teal color. It doesn't really say what color it is on here, but it's a really pretty color. And then I'm going to use this Let's Resin chrome powder in the silver and swirl that in with this teal. I think that's going to be a really pretty effect in this little dish. So let me get my colors mixed up. Take a little stir stick and get this. I have not opened this particular pigment paste yet, so I'm going to stir it up really good. You want to always stir it up before you use it. Wipe the stick off, because that's not the stick I'm going to use to actually mix with, so I'll get a longer stick for that. Alright, let me start mixing this and see what I come up with, what this color looks like. And I got a really full cup here. And I think it's going to take more than this. Sorry guys, I don't have enough room here to get me mixing it into the pitcher as well. So, and that's not anything really exciting. It's just stirring the stuff into the resin. But you want to make sure that you mix it up really well. You don't want any leftover pigment paste floating around in there to make any discoloration or dark splotches into the resin when you pour it. That actually came out pretty light, so I'm going to add a little bit more because I've got 8 ounces of resin here in this cup that I'm mixing this in. Alright, let me get this stirred in and see what we come up with. Really pretty color. I hope everyone is doing well today. Yeah, that's a pretty color. Can y'all see that? But I think I want to go just a smidgen darker with it. Being that I'm mixing in that silver, I really want that silver to pop in this. Okay, that should be enough. Get the lid put back on that. Get it stuck back down here. Get this mixed up. And then I will get the silver chrome powder mixed up from Let's Resin. Scrape the sides of my cup really good. Yeah, that's really pretty. I'm going to say that this is actually teal. That would be what y'all would call it, is a teal color. That's what it looks like to me. This is probably only going to be a one project video. Kind of limited on time, so. But at least we are going to get a video in of a beautiful project. Okay, let me set that there, and then get my chrome powder and get it mixed up. Use one of these shorter sticks for this. I'm almost out of this. I'm going to have to order some more. I said I'm not mixing as much of the chrome powder because I don't want it to take over, but I do want to swirl it in. Teal and silver. That's going to be so pretty. Get it mixed up, guys. Shouldn't be much longer and we'll start pouring. Okay. I definitely got to order some more of that. Probably have to order the whole set, which I don't need the whole set, but I don't know if you can order it individually. I wish they had a bigger container of it that you could order. I'll have to check into that and see. Alright. I've already ran the resin through the vacuum chamber. So I'm just going to do like a little crisscross here. Let that run down into the mold. Get a little bit of that down into the lid. Okay, so now let's get some of this teal poured in. And this mold has got some little pieces in here, so I'm just going to squeeze it. Give it a little squeeze here on the bottom to make sure everything gets down in there like it needs to be, so we don't get any bubbles. And I like to bounce it like that too. That usually helps some. All right, let's get some more of the silver. Gotta make sure I save enough for the lid too, so. And like I said, I didn't go real strong on the silver because I'll let that run down for just a minute. Get this resin off of my glove so I'm not touching everything with it and getting resin all over everything. Okay, now a little bit more of the teal. Glove off. I think I'm going to have a bunch left over. It's new mold, so I wasn't sure how much it held, so I just mixed up my usual. I have a tendency just to mix up 10 ounces. Let that run down for a minute. A little bit more teal. And I'm pouring this slow, guys, so I can get the combination of the two colors in together and not wash one or the other out. Mostly the gray out because there's a lot more teal than there is gray going into it. And we just kind of want a hint of the gray. We don't want it taking it over. I can kind of see it from the sides. It looks like it's marbling pretty good. Let that run down a little bit before I pour some more. And then of course once I pour this on top, it's going to flush that on down. I like these little cups here because you can bend them into a point. Let that run down some. I'm going to kind of bounce it again. Yeah, from what I'm seeing on the side, it's going to be very pretty. More teal. Oh yeah, there's going to be a bunch of this left over. So I'm going to have to find something else to pour in a teal color. I'll have to think on that one, decide what I want to get out for it. Thought it was going to be a one project day, and I was wrong. But that's okay. More of this. I said I gotta save some for the lid. It's not gonna take near as much for the lid though, because this doesn't hold a whole lot. Pour a thick layer of teal here. And then a little bit more gray, and then top it, or yeah, top it off with the teal. That should be enough gray left for my lid. Or silver, not gray. Well, pretty much all the same though. Eye level here, make sure I get that to where it needs to be, and that looks good. Now I'm going to take my little silicone chip. I've got several sizes in this one, but I like this small one because it tends to mix it in smaller. Kind of swirl that gray into that bottom. Maybe put just a smidgen more into it. Not much, just a little bit. So I have enough left over for the lid. And with using the silicone tip stirring stick, you don't run the risk of scratching your mold, because you don't want to scratch your mold, because any marks that's left on your mold is going to come off on your project. Okay. Now then, I'm just going to kind of run it around this outer edge and let it run down into the lip of this. Because I want to get a little bit of both colors down into that. Alright, now let me pour just a little bit of teal to get down in that lip. let that run down. And then I'm going to take my little stick and kind of swirl it around too. So you see a little bit of both colors in there. All right, now a little bit more gray. Just kind of swirl that around here, let it run down. Teal. Gray. Teal. Some more gray. Teal. It's only going to need to go up to that. Let me get some more gray in there. Just swirl it around and see what I got. I don't have a whole lot of gray left, so that worked out perfect. And that looks absolutely perfect on the get that swirled around. And of course it'll still move some and do its resin thing that it does. Get a fresh paper towel. Get a little start stick lopped off. Alright, now I'm going to have to find another mold to use to pour the rest of this teal into. Let me go find another mold. Look what I found. I found my shaker turtles, and I also found this new butterfly mold. I took it out of the packaging, so it's brand new. So I'm going to spritz it. Spritz those. And let's pour this. Let's pour us a teal butterfly. I'm out of the silver, so more. Get it filled up to the top. That looks good. Get my shaker turtles filled. I love these shaker turtles. And you definitely do not want to overfill them. Sometimes that's easier said than done because they are small. So you just got to kind of pour it slow and pay attention. Just a little bit more to get in that tail good, and I think that's going to be good right there. And we still have some left over. Yeah, it's no longer a one project. Okay, so let me get some of my other little turtles. Those are very popular with my kids and grandkids. I get a new color and they come through and see it and start grabbing. That's okay too, so they can enjoy some of Mama and Nana's crafting. Alright, so let's get a couple of turtles put in here and see what we have. I know I've got enough for 2. I don't know if I've got enough for 3, but we're going to see. There's that one. And I have enough for 3. If I scrape, get this resin off of my gloves. Let's see. That's questionable, so I'm not gonna chance it. Let's see what else I can find in here. All right. I think I probably have enough for that, so let's just get this poured. And these are so hard to pour because they have so many little fine crevices. With that kind of run, and move some of it where it needs to go into those little fine spots. And then the tail, that's the hard part, is the tail, because you want to make sure you get all of that in there filled in. And the little nose, and it's starting to get thick on me, so I think I can put just a little bit more in it, and then that's going to be it. Okay guys, I think that looks good. Everything looks like it's filled in pretty good. Had a little bit left over, but I'm not going to mess with pouring that because it's getting too thick really to work with. So we're going to let these cure, and then I will see y'all back for demold. Okay, it is demold time. Let's take this little butterfly out first. I love these soft molds. Oh, y'all, look how pretty that is. Turn it around at different angles. All right, now let's get this one out. I'm gonna have to pull it away from the camera, y'all, because it's really tight. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get some alcohol down inside of it. And get that worked around to, it's still a little bendy, but I don't want to wait. So we're gonna take it out now. But I'm gonna have to do it off camera. Whew, that one was tough. All right, there's that part of it. And I love the way that my marbling came out. Now I gotta get this mold back like it needs to be. Alright. Yeah, it's still a little bendy. So what I'll do is hopefully not mess this lid up. Alright, so I'm probably going to just go ahead and stick that on there. And let it form. But look how pretty the marbling came out, everyone. I knew that teal and gold would be really, really pretty together. Probably should have let this sit a little bit longer, but my patience was like, nope, let's demold. I don't know if the smaller ones are ready, but I'm gonna see what we've got here. Oh yeah, it's good. A pretty teal turtle. Do one of the shakers. Little shaker turtles are so cute. You fill them up with cute little things to shake around on the inside of them. Here's the other turquoise turtle. Nice and shiny and sparkly. Another shaker turtle. I'm so glad I found these molds. I'm gonna be super careful with this because it is still bendy and I don't want to break that tail off. But if I'm really, really easy with it, then lay it down flat to finish fully curing, it'll be okay. All right, there is the pretty sparkly teal seahorse. So I'm gonna lay these down flat. Probably going to turn my heat mat on to let them finish fully curing. And then I will have to, matter of fact, I can do that now. Go ahead and pour my turtle shells that's going to go on top of the shaker turtles. Let me grab my UV resin. And I always pour this in clear so that way you can see it really good. And I'm not going to wear gloves because I'm not going to be touching any resin at all. This is strictly just a squeeze bottle, so there is no fear of getting that on me. So I'm just going to pour that in there until it gets up to the top. And do the same with this one. Put the lid back on my UV resin. Pop any bubbles. Find my little torch lighter. And then just put my UV light on it and let it cure. It doesn't take very long with the UV resin. I'm going to get some of these molds put away here in my little drawer that's next to my station for my extras. Okay. And I think I'm going to use these inside of the turtles. I haven't opened it yet, but it's just some colorful little beads that'll bounce around and make that shaking sound. And I can go ahead and secure, get my knife so I can cut this. I'm going to go ahead and secure the shells onto the turtle, or turtles. Sorry about the noise, y'all. Plastic makes a lot of noise, especially on camera. Oh, this is probably going to go everywhere. I'm just going to cut a little slit there in the end of it. And then I'm just going to fill up these little guys. You don't want to overfill them, but enough to get in there and make the little shaking sound. Make them colorful little teal shaker turtles. Alright, that should be good. I need to get a Ziploc bag. Had a couple come out, so I'm just going to throw them in there. Alright. I'm going to get one of these big cups to put these in because I know they're going to go everywhere otherwise. And if they spill in the cup, so be it. I'll turn this on one more time. Make sure those are good and cured, then let them cool for just a minute, and then we will use my B7000 glue, and then just put around the edge of the shell that goes on top of the turtles. Get my knife put away. And you can't shake them, of course, when you first get the shell put on there, because it's going to make these little beads stick to the glue that seeps outside of the shell on top of the turtles. So you got to let them get fully cured before you shake them. So that's going to be tomorrow sometime, but you'll get to see the effect of how they look and how cute they are. They make cute little extras. This should be probably about done. Then I'm just going to let it cool for just a minute. Okay, so let's take these out. And you just got that little clear shell that's going to go on the back of the turtle. And then I just take my glue and go around this outer edge. And then just pop it on there. Do this one. Pop it on there. And then let them sit. I usually wait until the next day, but you can see the little beads on the inside, and once it's dry you can shake it. Kind of like a baby rattler sound. So I'll get all this, let it fully cure and everything, and then I'll get some pictures put up. And thank you for sharing my video with me, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. And don't forget to hit that like button. We'll see you on the next one.